Hey, ding dongs. Wait, does this look cool? Okay, as you can see, the baby's here. Okay, no, I wasn't even planning on doing like a video like this, but I was just like sitting here thinking, and I guess I am gonna do a video. So, we're just gonna talk about. Hi. As I have my 10-day-old. What's today, Monday? Yeah, as I have my almost 2 week old, 10-day-old baby, I just wanted to talk about like the difference from going from one child to two children to three kids, and like what was easier, like postpartum wise, and just like my experience. So now that I have three kids, I'll just say like what has been the easiest transition for me. And I'm gonna have to say two to three has been the easiest transition. Like right now has been the easiest. I don't know. I feel like easy is not like the proper word to use because nothing about kids is easy, but I'll say it's been the least stressful, the least dramatic, traumatic, the least drastic change that I've experienced so far. Like having three kids so far, like a newborn and then two little ones, is definitely easier than having one to two. I'll say with my first, I won't say it was like super hard, but everything was just so new. You don't know like what you're doing at all. Like I had no idea what I was doing. I was just like so uncomfortable just thinking back to like those early days right after having my son. I was just not comfortable with my body. I didn't know what I was doing. I was super tired. I didn't know. Did I just say I didn't know what to do? Like, yeah, I didn't know what to do. Everything was so new, but I wasn't like too depressed. Like postpartum wise compared to my second, that was a time. But with my first, it was just everything was a little bit of a learning curve, but I didn't feel too much pressure because it was just me and him. So I felt like I had like all the time in the world to just explore and try like new different things, like sleeping in cribs or co-sleeping, breastfeeding to bottle feeding, just like trying everything and figuring out what works. And eventually, we figured out what we were doing, and we got the hang of things. And we were coasting for like a good 2 years, and then I got pregnant again, and then that changed. But what I learned from having two kids is that one kid is like nothing. Like that's obviously the easiest. Like me and my one kid were just ripping and running. We were in and out the streets, just going everywhere. We were going on like lunch dates and just going to all of the places. It's so much easier to get one kid ready versus any other amount, like more than one person than yourself. And breastfeeding was like a challenge too. I don't think I got mastitis. We had like some overproduction issues, so that was a little frustrating, but we survived. It wasn't too bad. With the second kid, I'll say that was just the hardest for me, hands down. Bless you. With the second kid, I definitely experienced postpartum depression for at least 2 years. Like, yeah, that was a tough time. And the funny thing is, like, I had help in the first weeks with, like, the first full week with my son. My mother-in-law came to stay with us, and that was helpful, but at the time, like, I didn't know how to I wasn't even comfortable with myself, so I didn't even know like how to just like have the help be there. Like I was just like lost in the sauce. I was very overwhelmed, very, what's the word, anxious, just feeling all of the things. But then with my second, I had help like the first week. She didn't stay with us, but she like came every day for at least a week. And that was helpful too, but that was a big change for me because like I just went from having just like my one son, he was like almost 2 years old, and then I had this brand new little baby. She was so tiny and small, and she just required like so much care than like a regular newborn because she came early. She was like basically preemie size. She was 4 pounds, so I had to do a lot of things just to keep her like alive and fed. She required way more feedings than like a regular size, like full term baby. She needed a heating pad. She needed preemie. Just not expecting any of that. I know that I like explained in like previous videos that I felt like she didn't like me. She was pretty colicky. Like she cried a lot. Like any time that she was just like down, I felt like I like had to carry her, and she just like needed to be like with me like at all times. Like she was a part of me. And just like the beginning months, I just felt like she didn't really like me because she would just like always cry, and it was very tough. Anytime we would go somewhere, she was just like not interested in like anybody else like holding her, which kind of took a toll on me. But like in a weird way, like I kind of liked it, but then I started not to like it like after I think like after 2 years I got like sick of it. Man, I'm sorry, I'm like going all over the place. But the big change for me was that when I had my son and then I had my daughter, the age gap was just not ideal. Like he just turned 2 and then she was just born. And up until that point, like it was just me and my son, and I was like always there to take care of him and take him to all the places and just do anything and everything for him. And it was a lot for me to like let him be alone with his dad, which sounds like crazy, but he was like my little baby. And if any of you like other parents or moms know like how it is, then you kind of like understand what I'm saying. I was just like so nervous. I was such like I guess, yeah, I was like a really nervous, like anxious mom, and I just worried a lot and was like, oh my God, like he's by himself. Like, what if he doesn't, what if he needs this or what if he needs that? I just felt like a crazy amount of like mom guilt and mom shame, and I just like felt so bad that I couldn't like be there how I was before when it was just me and him. And then now that I had like this little baby to take care of, and she was just like always crying and always needed me, and I just felt like it was just a lot to like adjust to and get used to. Eventually like we figured it out, but like the first few weeks and like month, I was just like, oh my God, like I don't know how I'm gonna do this with like 2 kids. Like they're just all over the place. Like I had a little 2-year-old toddler over here trying to potty train and trying to get out of poopy diapers, and everyone's crying all at once. Like that was a lot. I think that's what set it off for me. I developed like some kind of, I don't know what it is, PTSD or like hearing loss, but like all of the crying for like that first year with my second and my first, it was traumatizing. And still to this day, like the sound of their voices and their tears and like tantrums and crying literally makes my ears like ring. And I need to wear headphones or earplugs to like block out that high pitch like I can't deal with their tears. So yeah, that was my experience like for the immediate postpartum. I would definitely recommend, if you have help, take the help. Hi, Pinky. Oh, look at that little newborn head. Now that I'm a mom of three, three. It's definitely been a time. What am I saying? There's a sense of like peace with the third one because I don't I don't feel like new anymore. Like I know like pretty much like all the things to do for a baby. I don't know. I guess I've had like time to like soak in my in my misery. Soak in my misery, soak in my experience. Like I know what to expect. Obviously, like every child is different. Every pregnancy is different, and yeah, the children have been different, but it's also been like some of the same occurrences happen, like growing, eating, sleeping, breastfeeding, potty training, tantrums, teething, like all those normal routine things. Like I'm not worried as much. And it definitely gets a lot easier when they get older and less dependent on you. I could say I'm a lot more chill with this baby. I don't even know what that means. Like I'm still like don't want the baby to like get sick or anybody to touch her with their like nasty fingers or germs. But and I've never had like a normal sized baby before. I've always had like small babies, like 5 pounds and 4 pounds. And this one was 7.5 pounds. And sleeping is like going okay. Like she eats every 2 to 3 hours, maybe like 2.5, so closer to three. Like I'm getting 3 hours of sleep. That's also been something to know. I've had such a long time to be like sleep deprived. I've been tired since 2021, maybe even before that. Like I've been tired for 6 years and the sleep has just gotten worser and worser. I know that's not a word. But now that I'm used to like not sleeping that much, like 3 hour chunks of time to sleep is like nothing for me. It's not affecting me as much right now, if that makes sense. Like I'm sure it's not good for the long run, but I feel like I can like survive most days off of 3 hours here, 3 hour increments of sleep. Oh my god. As I yawn, I am kind of tired. I do need a nap. It's the only thing that I'm like really worried about is just like when everyone starts crying and when everyone has tantrums all at the same time. Like I may cut my head off, but we'll cross that river ocean when we get there. If you guys are watching this and you have kids, let me know your thoughts. Like what was an easy transition for you? And until next time. Bye, ding dongs.
Don't ever trade your soul. Don't even listen to him. He don't know nothing at all.